Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Back to throw, Goff. That's complete to Smith. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the comeback player of the year in 2018. A Pro Bowl quarterback as well a season ago, Andrew Luck.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
Give me that ball! Give me that ball, defense!
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White pushing through tacklers at the 30. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go right back to White here on first down. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And this one complete to Reed. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, trying to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On second and 11 now. Luck. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And this is where we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the 50, it's Luck. Escaping the pressure right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Ito Smith, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. James White with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now.
This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Goff. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's White. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
On 1st down, White. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
First down. Watch the pass. Check it back. Check it back.
On 1st and 10, Goff. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ito Smith that time. And it's 2nd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters, and this is what he's always had, and that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on second down. Luck. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Luck. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
So out now come the Lions. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Watch the out. Watch the whip.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On the draw, this is Smith. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. 36.
From the 36, Goff. Washington's got it. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. A first down carry for Smith. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And now look at him go. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. James White, 97 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Luck. And he finds the tight end, Reed. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He'll buy some time right. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
They'll run on 1st down. It's White, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, Luck. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the run, it's Smith. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He finds Coleman. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Brandon Graham make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Tucker's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what
We did halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And now the throw hauled in by Green. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fine. That's a big game. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Off of play action, Luck. And this is caught by Winton, the tight end. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul. Now White lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now on 2nd and 16. Luck. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Geno Atkins, his 2nd sack of the night.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing his Luck. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be the call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 45 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the red zone now, Locke. He's got Green. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond.
And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down now, it's Smith. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Check nine, check nine.
On second down, here's Smith. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run with Smith. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
his carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the fourth quarter still to come. We're in the third. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tapping his quarterback on the shoulder. I'll take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Gone. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Here's Goff. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
The Lions on third down. A very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far.
They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. From the 50, it's Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
James Washington was the intended target.
And now it's 2nd down.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
This one complete to Coleman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing again is gone. Complete to Washington. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
To the air again, gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike. What's up?
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Goff. This is Coleman with a grab. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now Goff on 1st down, and that's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Goff throwing again. Open man, Erickson. That's complete. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. On 1st down, it's Smith. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It's a gain of 5, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
7 yards there on the first down screen play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is gone. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first carry here for Jaquiz Rodgers. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
I got him. Watch safety green. Watch safety green.
On 2nd down, it's Smith. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Let's go.
Now the Packers get set to go. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home, all right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They'll run on first down.
It's White. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Packers,
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.